Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how I make some of my resin pieces. And if you guys have followed my channel for a while, you've seen me use these on projects. And this last week or so I noticed that my resin was yellowing. So this is the 2-part resin that I use. It's the 24-hour resin. It doesn't cure quickly. And I noticed that it was getting really yellow. Well, the part B hardener, I don't know if you can tell because I can't get close enough to the camera, but anyway, it was yellowing, so I decided before I spent money on some more, I was going to finish this up and just make a ton of resin pieces. So I wanted to show you guys because people have asked me about it, and I've gifted some resin pieces in the past, and I've had lots of questions about it. So I think I'll just show you guys how I do my resin pieces, and I'll let you watch while I cast a few. So the first thing is the actual resin. There's 2 types of resin. This is the, like I said, the 24-hour kind, so you let this cure overnight. This is the one that you can mix tons of like glitters and spangles, sequins into. There's also the 5-minute cure kind, and that's this kind, amazing casting resin. You can find both of these kinds at Michael's. This cures in 5 minutes, and you can pigment these, but you can't add glitter mixes to them because they actually turn white. There's a white cast to it when it cures. But anyway, I'm not going to work with this today. I'm going to be working with this kind because, like I said, I wanted to make some glitter pieces. So you need your resin. Of course, you need resin molds. And there's a few different types. So these are the kinds. Sorry, they're all a little funky because I've been using them all week. These are the types you can find on Store Envy. Different Etsy shops sell them. These are the kind that people craft out of some type of hard plastic. There's a machine they use. And you can get all kinds of, I have tons of things, but I'm working on frames and bows mostly right now. That's my favorite kind of mold because it comes out shiny. You can find these kinds of resin molds on eBay and AliExpress. These are the cheapy kind. They're silicone. They work well, but they leave a dull finish on your pieces, so you have to gloss them afterwards. And I have some Martha Stewart ones out. I won't use all of these today, but I like to have a variety when I'm casting. So, and then these are some handmade molds. So I had some resin pieces that I've picked up at Michael's and different places, and I cast my own molds out of molding putty. So that's that kind. And then you need nitrile gloves. I have these black ones. I picked these up at Home Depot because we had a few bucks left on a gift card, but you can actually find them in a lot of different places for a lot cheaper. This was $10 for a 40-pack, but they have to be nitrile gloves so that if you're allergic to resin and you're working with it for the first time, the nitrile gloves will keep it from touching your skin. So a pair of good gloves. You need something to measure in. I get these cheapy shot glasses from the dollar store, and I just go by the lines on it to kind of measure how much resin I want to pour. So you pour your part A and your part B separately, and then you use the craft stick or something to stir in your glitter mix. So of course you need your glitter mix, raw glitter, sequins, anything you want to mix into your resin. You can use eyeshadow, you can use pigments. I'm trying to think of what else. Alcohol inks if you have those. And then I like to have this kind of like barbecue light. You can use matches as well. Once you cast your pieces, you want to put some fire to the resin very lightly. You just want to run it over to pop any bubbles. So I'm going to cast a few pieces so you guys can watch me. And I've never done this on camera, so hopefully it's not a disaster. But let me get these gloves on. Okay. And do you guys like my sweater? It's Hello Kitty, and I had to dig out a heavy sweater because it's so cold in New York today. So, all right, so let me get these gloves on. And then for the sake of time, I actually poured out an equal part of part A and part B resin. So you see how I was saying my part B resin, the hardener, was getting really yellow. So I decided to just use some glitter mixes and make some opaque pieces and waste it. A little tip, what I do is I pour a little extra of part A into the shot glass because when you transfer part A to part B, there's always a little residue. So you don't get equal parts unless you completely scrape it out. So you just pour your hardener, which is part B, into your little cup with part A. Try to get as much of it out as you can. Sorry for the camera angle, guys. But okay, that's pretty good. You want to get rid of this. Don't let it leak all over, and don't let it touch your skin. Mine is really, really dark, like I said. It shouldn't look like this in general. If you have the patience to mix super slow, it'll keep air bubbles out of your resin. I don't have the patience for it, and I'm using glitter anyway. So I'm not caring about the air bubbles. I'll try to pop them with the lighter before I leave them to let them sit. So you want to try to combine them as best as possible with your craft stick. Just get it all mixed up. Again, I mean, you shouldn't be mixing it this quickly. I'm just doing it because that's how I am. I'm not patient. Get them combined. They suggest that you mix slowly, like this, literally, very slowly for 2 minutes. I don't have the patience for that. So you take your glitter mix. This is just one that I made that's all holographic silvers, and I'm shaking it up because the bigger glitters always sink to the bottom. And you want to really saturate your mix. So what you think is too much, that's the right amount to put in. So, whoa, that's a lot of glitter. So you pour your glitter in, and it gets kind of thick and gooey. And that's pretty much what you're looking for. So you see that consistency? It's all kind of mixed in. Really pretty. If you don't put enough glitter, what happens is when you pour it into the molds, all that glitter sinks to the bottom, and then your piece kind of looks see-through behind the glitter. I can't explain it, but I can show you some pieces that look like that. So you get it all mixed up. Pick out which frames you're going to use, which molds you're going to use. I make bows all the time. I love these bows. I actually have to go online and invest in a palette of these or something, because I would love to make a ton of these at a time. And I usually start with my big molds and some of my favorites. I have this cameo bow mold that's domed, and I try to make the outline of it, so I balance it on another shot glass or something just to keep it level, because this is a weird one, and if it's laying flat, it's gonna tilt over. So if you have a mold that's uneven, you can put it in a Ziploc full of sand, craft sand or something, or balance it on something like this. But I usually do that at the end with leftover resin. And I usually take my gloves off at this point. You should have gloves on, guys. Don't do what I'm doing. But I'm more comfortable pouring. I actually do get itchy on my skin if I'm using the bottles of resin to mix, and it touches my skin. So just a quick pour. I actually didn't make a ton of resin mix, because I don't want too much of any one color. I made a bunch of red, a bunch of greens, like for holiday projects. And so that's it. Hopefully I'm in focus, but you just basically do your pour. Use your craft stick to even it out, and then we'll go back with some heat and pop any bubbles. So you see this drop here? Don't wipe that away. Let it dry. You actually get hardened drops like this. Let's see if I can get it to focus. You wind up with homemade enamel dots if you spill any and you just kind of let it dry. So that's what they look like. Can you see that? Yeah, so if you're messy like me, there you go. I got some resin on my skin already. So let me move that aside. I want to do my bows. I love my bows. Okay. So maybe I'll pause while I pour so that you guys are not super bored watching me pour mold after mold. Let's see. Whoa. And you just kind of spread it around. Okay. Okay, guys, so I have a few pieces I poured. That resin did about 5 molds here. And I did get a few drops, some that you can't see off camera. I'm going to try to avoid those and let them dry. Hopefully they round out, and I'll wind up with cute little enamel dots. So, like I said, you have one of these or matches, and you just want to lightly, let's see if I can get it to, you just want to lightly go over the resin. This pops any bubbles, because the bubbles rise to the surface. So if you just go around the edges, if you're working with a light colored piece that's not going to be so opaque, then you really want to make sure you get those bubbles out. Okay, and that's it. So I'm actually going to stop the video, push these aside, and then tomorrow I will come back and film when I unmold these so you guys can see how they look when they pop out of the molds. But really quickly, these are some of the pieces that I have made. Let me show you guys actually. So there's flowers and frames, and this is the difference with the hard plastic molds. They make these really beautiful shiny pieces, and then those resin molds, silicone molds like this, they make these very dull pieces. But you can easily use a gloss, any kind of gloss, even clear nail polish to polish them, but I just like working with these better. So anyway, yeah, that's a bunch of the resin pieces I've made. Super cute, and I think when I'm done casting all the pieces that I've been working with, I'll probably do a little hidden giveaway, giving away some of these pieces. So stay tuned for that. See how bad this looks? This was a handmade mold. It really needs polishing. And you can see some air bubbles in it, so this is probably a fail. But anyway, yeah, so that's how my pieces look, and I'll come back tomorrow and film the second half of this video showing you guys what the pieces look like when they pop out. All right, bye guys. Hi guys, so it's the next day. So these have sat and cured for about 24 hours, and I just wanted to do a quick unmolding with you. So I'll show you like the silicone molds. They're super easy to unmold, but remember how I was saying they're not as shiny as these plastic ones. So let's see. So there you go, that's the first one. Really pretty. Once I glaze this, it'll be super shiny. But then this is how the hard plastic ones look. So they pop out and they're super shiny. I love these kind of molds. So look at the difference. How shiny that is and how dull that one is. But that's okay. And then, okay. And here's this one. I usually go in with a little trimming tool. I actually use a cuticle cutter to trim the little pieces of resin. So look at the difference there in the dull and the super shiny one. So those are the 3 frames, and then here's the bows. I love how these bows come out. So yeah, those are the resin pieces. Hopefully this little tutorial will be helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or you want to see anything else having to do with the resin, just comment down below and let me know. And stay tuned, maybe sometime next week when I finish using up all of that resin and I cast a bunch of these frames in different colors, I'll be doing a small flash giveaway. So, all right, bye guys. Hi guys, so it's the next day. So these have sat and cured for about 24 hours, and I just wanted to do a quick unmolding with you. So I'll show you like the silicone molds. They're super easy to unmold, but remember how I was saying they're not as shiny as these plastic ones. So let's see. So there you go, that's the first one. Really pretty. Once I glaze this, it'll be super shiny. But then this is how the hard plastic ones look. So they pop out and they're super shiny. I love these kind of molds. So look at the difference. How shiny that is and how dull that one is. But that's okay. And then, okay. And here's this one. I usually go in with a little trimming tool. I actually use a cuticle cutter to trim the little pieces of resin. So look at the difference there in the dull and the super shiny one. So those are the 3 frames, and then here's the bows. I love how these bows come out. So yeah, those are the resin pieces. Hopefully this little tutorial will be helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or you want to see anything else having to do with the resin, just comment down below and let me know. And stay tuned, maybe sometime next week when I finish using up all of that resin and I cast a bunch of these frames in different colors, I'll be doing a small flash giveaway. So, all right, bye guys.